Second one for Holmgren. It rims out. Brown grabs it. 7 seconds left. Westbrook, 5 seconds. They're down by 1. Gordon got it. Aaron Gordon with a deep shot. Williams, three-quarter court. No good. The Nuggets steal game 1. That's a winner for Aaron Gordon. 121 to 119.
Well, how about Aaron Gordon now has 2 game winners already this postseason? The Denver Nuggets go on the road and win in OKC. Only 5 teams did that all regular season. Nuggets were one of them. Welcome to Playoff Central Live. That's the All-Star Steve Smith. That's the Wall-Star John Wall. I'm that other guy, Chris Miles. And, man, a round that features the 2 MVP finalists last year and this year going head-to-head. Neither disappointed. So let's start with the stat lines because Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, got to show him love. 33 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists. But Nikola Jokic, a historic game, 42, 22, and 6 helpers. For those trying to figure out, okay, how rare is that? He's just the 13th player in NBA history, Smitty, to have a 40-20 game. Shaq had 4 of them. Wilt had 13 of them.
I mean, that's bingo numbers. I mean, it's just unreal the way he just can control a game in so many different ways. I mean, such great IQ, great touch, understands the moment, time, and score like a point guard. And he's just one of those guys, what can you do? These are too big for OKC, and he's dominate down there on the block. He has an entire package. He can shoot the 3, he can go off the bounce. Now, it's slow, but he's methodical when he's make the right play.
You know, John, there's some players where you can look at a box score, and Nikola Jokic is one of those guys. But as we came down to the wire, we understand how special SGA is. But there was this feeling like, okay, Nikola Jokic is going to do something here. He's going to make big plays when it counts. What is it about him that makes him so special in that way?
There's nothing you can do. He has everything you want. He has a touch. He got the shot. He got the IQ. And I said this before. There's only 3 guys in the league I feel like they can control a game however they want. Maybe 4. James Harden, Luka, LeBron, and Jokic. They basically all can be like point guards. And he knew when to take the big shots. He knew when to make the right plays. But to dominate the game like this with 42 points, 22 rebounds, and he could have had a triple-double. Guys missed some shots. That's why he only had 6 assists. And we said early on, we thought he was playing bad because he had like 3 turnovers at halftime. Still doesn't matter. Find a way to get this win right here. And Aaron Gordon makes a big shot.
It's his 6th career 40-point playoff game. And Smitty matched his career high in rebounds. But when I look at the Denver Nuggets, I go, hold on. They had 3 starters with double-doubles because Aaron Gordon, who hit the game winner, also matched his season high with 14 rebounds. And here's the thing. We see him hit the game winner from long range. He was 3 for 6 from outside. But he had been struggling in the playoffs before making that 3 from long range, Smitty, but had all the confidence in the world to shoot.
But he's so important for them because he does so much down on the block as a power forward, and he plays a little bit of 5. He's worked on that shot. He's worked on his being able to make plays outside the paint. And this one right here, he went got him. I love the way he's been playing. They can't win ball games without him. And give Russell a lot of credit. Hit the open man, no matter what. Trust your teammates. And he knocked it down.
You know, John, we've heard so much about the Denver Nuggets of when they won their championship, they had so much help from other guys. But Russell Westbrook, the way he's been playing, we saw him in Game 7 against the Clippers, exercise that demon against his former team. Then in this one, 18 points, 7 for 13 from the field. So many impact plays for the future Hall of Famer against the team that drafted him.
Yeah, you know, it's like a love-hate relationship with Russ when a lot of people watch him play, but he brings that energy every night. He brings that charisma that you need for your team, and he gives them joy. He brings that excitement. And like we was watching the game, and he came in and had a big play defense. He got a block, you know what I mean, did those little things. He's doing the little things, and when he made that play there, he could have went there and took it to the basket and tried to get the shot off. But he seen Aaron Gordon running the floor, made the right play, and they helped him seal the win.
Yeah, absolutely. Russell Westbrook, again, more efficient, 1 for 5 from three-point range, but across the board outside of that, just absolutely phenomenal. And Christian Braun, 11 and 13, Smitty. When I look at him, you don't think, okay, this guy's going to get you 13 boards in a road playoff game, but here we are.
I mean, so many different things. Jump shots, timely jump shots. He runs the floor. Sometimes he's not rewarded, but he'll run the lane so hard, opens up the lane for others. He is guarding. I mean, he's guarding SGA down the stretch with not a lot of help. And then also he gets big rebounds, like you say, and he's athletic. I love the way he's worked on his game, being able to be more of a catch-and-shoot guy, and they're playing him a lot of minutes, and they trust him now.
Yeah, incredible to see the Denver Nuggets plus 20 on the glass, 63 rebounds. Now, OKC was in full control most of this game, and we got to give a lot of credit to Alex Caruso putting on the Caruso show. He had 20 points, which is a new playoff career high, the most he scored in a game this season. John also had 5 steals, and really seemed like, okay, if he's going to play like this, the Nuggets have no chance. Caruso was very impressive.
Yeah, like when Caruso was doing those things, we know he can do defensive, but out there knocking down shots, making threes for them, that was big for them. But defensively, he does the little things, coming in, helps out, getting a block, like you see there. Jokic think he's one-on-one. He come out and make a big shot. Here he's spotting up, making shots. He's doing the little thing they need, and they got a boost for it because it started the second half. He got a chance to start, and he was in every passing lane and every mix-up that they wanted to see.
Yeah, I mean, the Thunder defensively, we know what they've been all season. First in the NBA in the regular season in steals, second in blocks. And Smitty, they exceeded those numbers, 23 stocks in this one, 11 blocks, 12 steals. They were everywhere despite this loss.
You know, I love it, like you said, the block shots, the steals, but what was impressive, only 9 turnovers. I mean, they played a really good floor game, just unfortunately down the stretch, they couldn't knock down the free throws, and they couldn't finish, down the stretch. They did a good job. It was like a 1-2-2 against Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and he struggled trying to, break down the defense from the top.
Well, to that point, the Nuggets ended the game on a 19-6 run. And when we think of Oklahoma City and we think of the Thunder, the number 1 seed last year, number 1 seed this year, John, all season people said, well, there's only one knock. When it comes to crunch time in the postseason, can they rely on anyone else not named Shai Gilgeous-Alexander? And he had 5 of those 6 points. And Chet Holmgren missed those free throws at the very end.
Yeah, I think Jalen Williams has to be more aggressive. In the fourth quarter, you really didn't hear nothing about him. He has to be that guy. They're going to double-team SGA and try to get the basketball out of his hands. He has to be the guy to step up and run those pick and rolls and make those plays for him. And we didn't really see him too much in that point there. And Chet, when Shaq missed the first free throw, you see it in his eyes. He wasn't really comfortable for the second one. And then you just see him. They didn't get back on defense and get loaded up and guard the guys they needed. But give credit to Denver. They didn't give up. We knew they was going to make a push in the fourth quarter. And like we said, Jokic is your leader, a guy that could dictate the offense and run the floor the way they do. They made a lot of big plays.
Yeah, certainly for the Oklahoma City Thunder, they're down 1-0 in this series to the Denver Nuggets after Aaron Gordon hit that game winner. Here's Thunder head coach Mark Daigneault.
Just Denver's experience there late, and you guys, trying to make the plays down the stretch.
Yeah, credit them. I thought they out-executed us down the stretch. I liked a lot of what we did most of the night to have control of the game. Obviously didn't close it tonight, but I thought we did a lot of good things. I thought we got a lot of feedback in terms of our plan. Didn't think our execution was as clean as it can be, but we'll learn from it. It's a series.
Mark, obviously I know generally you try to foul up 3, but is there any part of you that wishes that last sequence went differently, and especially the possession where Jokic is still waiting to check in?
I don't know exactly what possession you're talking about on that one, but that's usually our deal, is to foul up 3 and to play that game. I thought we executed the fouls pretty well, got the ball in bounds pretty well. It didn't go our way tonight, but it's worked out well for us in the past. We'll continue to look at it, maybe learn from it, but I didn't think that's why we lost the game.
And with Jokic, it felt like I think he had at least 8 free throws in that fourth quarter. It felt like he's on the fence with the 5th foul, and there are some sequences that maybe swing that game. Like, how difficult is that when you're trying to shift center out the game, Chet to Hart and try to manage that?
I thought a lot of the free throws that hurt us in the fourth were like backcourt fouls that were, just sloppy execution on our part that we can learn from and clean up. We had them in the bonus early in the first. They were in the bonus early in the fourth. That hurt us. So again, there's stuff we can learn from, but it wasn't our cleanest game. It was kind of a coin flip type of game. We allowed them to get back in it and make it a possession game. Gordon made a shot, credit him, and we just got to be better.
A couple of things. One, they came back. They got some quick fouls. They didn't have to use the clock. And then 2, after SGA hits his free throws, you foul immediately instead of letting them maybe use some time to get it past half court to use up some time. I guess why foul as soon as they inbound the ball on the other end of the court?
Yeah, so a couple things on that. I did think the backcourt fouls hurt us, and again, we can learn from that. The fouling up three, that's on me. I think given the foul and getting the foul executed is critical. So if there's something to be learned from that, it's probably giving it too early on my part, but that's not on the players. They're executing what I'm telling them to do.
Mark, you said, you mentioned a few things about how you guys ended up losing this, but you said that the fouling situation down the stretch wasn't why you lost. What would you boil it down to, why you lost this one? I
mean, just overall execution on both ends of the floor. I thought defensive execution, we had a lot of possessions that we can clean up and learn from. The rebounding, we can definitely learn from. They had a lot of offensive rebounds tonight, gave them a lot of second life. And then our execution down the stretch offensively. So, it's lousy that we lost game one. We'd rather be up 1-0 and with stuff to clean up, but that's not how this works. So now we got to go get to work and execute better next game.
What's the challenge of, a game like this where you have a pretty comfortable lead, see it, lost away, losing home court advantage? I mean, just those sorts of things on the mental side of things. What's the challenge of coming back from that?
It's the playoffs. We have to embrace it. We have to embrace the struggle of the playoffs. We have to embrace the adversity of the playoffs. The playoffs are a mountain to climb. So it's not going to be easy for anybody. We kind of coasted through the first round. It was challenging in the games, but we had control of the series the whole time. But no one just walks their way through a series at this point in the season. So credit Denver. They were the better team tonight. We can learn from it. We need to execute better, but it's a series first of four.
Joker obviously had another monster night. What did you think of the execution of the defensive game plan against him? And what's your feeling coming out of this about your team's ability to try to contain a guy who's obviously maybe the best player in the league?
Yeah, I mean, 42 is loud, obviously. 10 of those were free throws. He didn't assist the ball tonight the way that he does on average. So, the free throws were problematic, especially the bonus ones, like the one on the cut, the one in the backcourt. Those are tough plays where he's walking the line, getting points on those. But there were plays that we executed well. There were plays that we didn't. I thought in the first half we did a really good job defensively. We held them to 50 points or around there. But, we obviously need to be better. We don't want to give them 42 points.
And you're up 14 with a little bit over 4 left. I mean, the way things went, obviously, before you got to the final game to the fouls game, rather, from 14 to where it became a possession game, what did you think went wrong for you guys?
I mean, anytime you give up a lead like that, it's both ends of the floor. So it's offensive execution. I can do a better job of getting us organized and getting us quality looks. And then down the other end, to Myron's point, I thought some of the fouls that put him on the line without using clock obviously helped him get back into it. So it was both ends. It was everybody. We're all in it together. We need to execute better. I need to coach better. They need to execute the plan better. And we just need to be a better team in game 2.
Yeah, Mark, I think Jokic got his 5th foul on the flagrant with 6.5 minutes left. After that, did you change your offense at all, trying to go at him more, trying to get a 6th foul? And did that lead to any offensive stagnation?
We certainly try to go at them at times, but, you can get teams into like a defensive rhythm if you're like repeatedly at them every single possession. So we try to mix the bag a little bit on that, but it was on our mind for sure. I mean, we're aware of the foul situation, but like I said, we could have been better down the stretch.
The play we're talking about, Jokic not in the game, that came after Shai's dunk. They clearly thought they were going to foul, get him right back in. Shai gets free for the dunk. How tough is it to switch a strategy with no stoppage of play, where you got the dunk, they got no timeouts, they got to just play?
That's what's tough. It's tough to switch the strategy. We've got the guys locked in on fouling up 3 as a philosophy. They executed it, like I said. Anything with the foul up 3 stuff in terms of timing, that's on me. I mean, I'll take full responsibility for that. But philosophically, that's also what we do.
Did you see anything tonight that would indicate that the long layoff may have affected anything about the outcome of the game?
I don't know. It's hard to say. at the end of the day, I thought, maybe if we started the game like Rusty, we were 0 for 10 from 3 to start the game, and then we were 7 for 14 after that. So, I thought we found our groove there. And I thought our stuff, really was down the stretch, So I think it was more of an execution thing. It's hard to siphon out, what exactly to attribute that to, but the reality is they out-executed us tonight. It's a 7-game series. We need to be the better team in game 2.
First half, Jokic seemed like he was operating a lot inside. You guys were very active in the passing lanes, and second half it looked like he was more so outside and then trying to back you guys down. What did that do for you guys' defense to throw you guys off?
Yeah, I thought, like I said, in the first half, I thought we did a good job on him and their team. We had, we got stops. We were disruptive. I thought we had them a little bit out of rhythm. We were physical. In the second half, they scored, over 35 in both quarters. So, I thought that was a defensive issue in the second half. Obviously, the free throws had something to do with that. But, again, we did a lot of good things. Both ends of the floor. It's never as bad as you think it is when you lose by 2, but now we got to get to work and improve our execution. We have to get better as the series goes.
Do you feel like that was more of a point of attack thing for you guys, or physicality? With
the defense, a little bit of everything. Execution of schemes, the rebounding certainly hurt us in the second half. The free throws hurt us in the second half. It was a mixed bag. We just, we need to be a little bit better. We don't have to be perfect, but we have to certainly be better.
This obviously wasn't the outcome that you were looking for, but can you talk about the positive that Caruso brought?
Yeah, he was awesome. He's a gamer. I thought he gave us a great lift in the first half, obviously. And the shot making, he was the one that kind of got the ball rolling down the hill for us there. Did a great job out of halftime. I thought we got control of it there, deciding to start him. And then, he's just so engaged in the game. He knows the plan. He can guard a lot of different guys. He executes. I thought he played great on offense tonight. He played a great game.
Mark, is the stagnation on offense just really hard to turn around once you start having trouble, and really the low percentage shots that J-Dub got off and a couple that Shai got?
Yeah, like the dead ball offense, some of that's coaching. I got to get us in advantageous positions in those situations. And then some of it's just like when we're not getting stops. The game's all connected. So when we're not getting stops, we're taking the ball out of the basket, or they're shooting free throws. We're coming up against a dead floor every time down the stretch of a game. So a few more stops help us there. We'll evaluate every possession, try to get better. Like I said, it was an execution game down the stretch, and they out-executed us.
Mark, obviously, Chet was very involved in that last sequence. He misses the 2 free throws, and then he tries to defend Gordon on the other end. He hits the game-winning 3. What's sort of your conversation with him after the game and after that sequence?
I'm not going to smother him right now. I think generally we talk going into the playoffs about the gaps between the games and the ups and downs of a series and the challenges that teams need to overcome to accomplish what they want to accomplish. So we do that proactively for this situation. We know it's not going to be easy. We know the playoffs are challenging. They take teams to the limit. We're no exception to that. So hopefully the guys apply that framework to when they lay on the pillow tonight, and then we'll come back tomorrow and go through the same process that we would go if we won the game by 2.
Anybody else? Thank you, Coach.
Yep, thanks.
Top seed in the West lose on a game winner from Aaron Gordon. You're watching Playoff Central Live, presented by AT&T. Interim head coach David Adelman, now 8-3 at the helm for the Denver Nuggets.
Performances I've seen from a group.
Yeah, and I thought, I told them in there, just their mentality was consistent throughout. I really mean that. Even in the timeouts, you get down 10, you get down 12, the swings in the game. I never felt like anybody wavered. And that doesn't mean you're going to win the game. But we all know in the NBA playoffs, these games are so long, you just try to give yourself a chance. And we did that. We played out possessions. I thought we were much more patient offensively those last 6 minutes to get a good shot up each time down. Like even Russ's shot in the corner. I know they were pre-rotating Nikola. You got to take the best shot possible, and he took it. And I thought our defensive intensity was good in the fourth quarter. And Aaron's going to be a hero again. But I'm also looking at 14 rebounds. I'm looking at 22 points. I'm looking at ball handling responsibilities, leadership. He is a Denver Nugget, man. Like he is the soul of our team. So cool to see him have two moments that no one will ever forget.
Coach, it looked like Nikola refused to let you lose. At the same time, he's losing his temper. The crowd's on him. Just can you go over what you saw from him in the 18-point fourth quarter? Felt like he was everywhere, including maybe in his own head, their head, and just a lot going on in that last quarter with him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the crowd affects him ever. I did think the physicality, they were bringing 3 and 4 bodies at him. He had to play through that. He had some unbelievable finishes around the basket. And the biggest thing for us was he finally saw the 3-point shot go in. And with their drop coverage and the way they played, that put them in much longer rotations, which puts him in closeout situations where he can actually handle it, spin, score in the paint. And him playing in the middle of the floor as opposed to on the block is hard. Because now you're really having to bring bodies, 15, 16 feet away from him as opposed to on the block. You have a set defense to rotate and take him away. So, Jamal was great early. Nikola was great late and, throughout as usual. But once again, like I said, a lot of guys stepping up, and it's just cool to see Aaron Gordon be the guy that finishes it.
You mentioned the mentality being consistent throughout. What do you feel like that's a product of with this team?
They're just for each other. It's like I just never saw anything where you're going, yeah, we're kind of losing it. Maybe competitively, because that's what happens in a playoff game. Both teams, they want this so bad. But just the communication on the bench, it wasn't about blaming somebody. It was about how can we do this better. What can we do better in a cross match? What can we do better with Shai? That's what it was, even down whatever it was, with the last couple minutes to go. So when you have that and you're just communicating about trying to win a game and not all the other crap that can go on, you give yourself a chance. And we did. The ball bounced our way. We got an opportunity, and Aaron knocked it down.
Coach, how did you guys win a game where you had 18 turnovers, they had 23 points off those turnovers? I think you only made 9 threes all night. How did you win this game?
Yeah, we hit the glass. We had 27 second chance points. That's just all effort on a night where shots are not going in. Unfortunately, they outscored us in fast break 27-21, but 21's a great number. And then we talked about this, the best paint defense maybe I've ever seen. And to get 54 in this building in a playoff game, what that means is you're working really hard to try to stay in the game. And when things that may not be going your way, you only make 10 threes, the assist totals are low. But we just played hard and played together. And like I said, it doesn't mean you're going to win every game that way, but you're going to give yourself a great chance. And we did that, and things worked out for us.
Yeah, I know it's kind of pick your poison, so it leaves a lot of open threes. What do you think about the effort on SGA to at least make it hard for him? And then you just kind of accept some of those, not that you want to leave wide open threes, or I guess how do you maybe limit some of those and still?
Yeah, I think when we look at the tape, I give, Lou Dort and Caruso so much credit. Those shots, just because they're open doesn't mean they're easy shots in a game like this. It speaks to the depth of their team. And yes, we can do a better job of helping on Shai, Jalen, but still getting out and getting a decent contest. But sometimes, just like with us, you have to let somebody shoot the ball when you're playing a first-team All-NBA player, 2 All-Stars that break you down and ISO you. So, our effort can get better, and that's the great thing about tape. You can go back and watch it, show it to the guys. This is a very honest group. They're easy to direct in those ways. So winning a game like this is good, obviously, but we can get better.
David, a year ago, that would not have been considered a high-percentage shot. What are you thinking as the ball finds Aaron there? And just more broadly, what have you seen go into his jump shot and his three-pointer this
He is so fluid right now, fluidity with his shot. It's very different. Over the years, it's slowly gotten better. There's less of a hitch. There's almost no hitch now. It's just a very fluid up and down shot. His knees release when his elbow does. All the things they tell you when you're 10 years old at camp. It looks that way right now. So it's nice to put him in the corner where he can make a shot. And on top of that, you put that man in the corner and he wants to cut on the baseline. We've all saw that in Game 7, that lob dunk he caught. Being able to do both is a weapon, especially when we're playing two-man game with Jamal and Nikola.
You mentioned the kind of conversations this team has where they're open and not blaming each other. From a coach's perspective, how does that help you continue to do your job?
Yeah, I think it lets you focus on schematics. You don't have to go in and rally the group to stay together in a tough moment. That's already happening. And they're already having that conversation. Keep yourself going. Keep your head up. And I know it sounds, cliche, but it's not. In this building, how loud it is. You brought up Nikola, the intensity of the game, people calming him down, him calming other people down. You need that. So when I step in there, we can just talk about trying to win the game. Not trying to balance egos or any of that stuff. So it goes a long way in high intense moments. Just super proud of the guys.
Coach, how important was it that, they never really ran away from you? Their biggest lead was 14. They would get it to 13. You guys would immediately go get it to 8. They get it to 13. You guys get it to 8. How important was it that you guys just kept kind of chopping wood there a little bit?
So important. And that's what I was talking about, the mentality. Would have been really easy for me to come up here and say, we just played Saturday in a Game 7 and we have all the excuses in the world and we're so tired. And no, it's the playoffs. You only get a certain amount of chances out here. And you're right. Every time they got up, I never sensed – we can play in 2 days. We can still even this thing up 1-1. No, this is our opportunity tonight. Live in the present in these moments. Now, these games they're so hard to win. And when you put yourself in a situation like this, like we did, don't waste your energy. Stay focused on what you're trying to accomplish. And you're right. Because we did that, we never let go of the rope because it felt like a few times it was close. Like they were about to blow this thing out in their building, which they do a lot. I mean, this is an amazing team that we're competing against with a great head coach, great players, and depth. Like I said, the word of the night for me is just mentality. Like, we did it, we stayed with it, and it worked out for us.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, guys.
Again, the 2 finalists for MVP, the guys who finished first and second in voting last year as well, Nikola Jokic, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. But let's start with some defense. Chet Holmgren meeting Aaron Gordon at the rim, or Michael Porter Jr. at the rim. Check it out again. Thunder had 11 blocks. And that leads to some offense. SGA, what do you call him, Smitty?
Gilgeous-Alexander.
He had 14 in the first quarter. 10-0 OKC run. Cason Wallace on the fast break off the steal.
Nice.
Thunder had 23 points off turnovers in the game. 17 of those coming in the first half. Welcome to the Caruso show. Wasn't done. Nikola Jokic.
Uh-oh. Help!
Just 6 points in the first quarter. And check out the Joker. John, it seems like this galvanizing of the group worked out.
He's been the coach, the best player, IQ, whatever you need for their team. He's getting get on that rim. Yes, sir.
John, you're a slam dunk champion. What do you give this?
I'm giving that 15. Over 10. That's body to body, chest to chest.
Thunder up 10 at the half. We move to the second half.
Ooh, nice.
Shea Butter.
Get to where you want to get to at your pace.
How about another MVP candidate?
Rotation device.
Let's touch. Nikola Jokic, but here's the deal. Denver down by 9. The Joker called for his 4th foul here. Smitty, it felt like at that point, the Thunder had all the momentum and the Joker's in foul trouble.
Yeah, they did. I mean, he had to come out and sit out a couple minutes. You can see both those guys holding, but Joker gets caught. And then OKC start to go on a little bit of a run.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Ooh.
And one on the 3 and the free, the Jamal Crawford special. But hold on,
Yes.
Russell Westbrook.
Okay. Right back at you. He just started to take away all their momentums with big-time buckets and plays.
Playoff career high for Alex Caruso, 20 points. Also had 5 steals. Nails this one. There is a Jalen Williams sighting, John.
Yep. We're going to see it. This probably be the last one. Nice move. Put him up 10.
With 9 minutes to go, Thunder again looking like they're in absolute control, all smiles. And then this, Nikola Jokic to Lou Dort in the back of the head. A flagrant one. Dort gets a common foul. So keeping up with Nikola Jokic just seems like, again, you're looking at the score, frustrating kind of night for him. SGA, another proverbial dagger up by 11 after hitting that 3. Nikola Jokic grabs this rebound. SGA gets called for the foul. Mark Daigneault wondering if he should challenge this one. OKC loses the challenge, and the Joker gets some free throws out of it.
They did, and you can see SGA didn't like the call, but he had fouled, and they just called it a little bit late.
From there, John, it's the Joker takeover. A little reminder of why he's a 3-time MVP.
Yeah, jab, get my space, go down 1-0. He's in full control.
Then Russell Westbrook open in the corner. He misses. Ball loose. Aaron Gordon gets it. It is denied. Alex Caruso comes up with it. 115, 114. And a sack on a play by Russell Westbrook. SGA makes 2 free throws.
Jalen Williams was all over that one.
So just a frantic ending between these two teams. 117, 116, 12 seconds to go. SGA.
Should have ran the clock out a little bit more.
So then Denver with 11 seconds to go.
Uh-oh.
They're fouled on purpose.
Uh-oh.
So the team up by 3 fouls on purpose. The team down makes the 2 free throws. Chet Holmgren misses 2. And then here you go. Aaron Gordon. Hey, Jill, you with me? Nails the 3. Denver up by 2. Still 3 seconds to go. Jalen Williams with the desperation heave. And Denver led for a total of 11 minutes. The Thunder led for 37 minutes of this game. But most importantly, the Nuggets led the final 2 seconds after Aaron Gordon hits this game winner again. The Nuggets have 5 wins in the postseason. Gordon has 2 game winners. SGA, Jalen Williams, down 0-1 here in the second round. They are at the podium.
Shai, obviously, taste of adversity here tonight. What's your expectation of how this team will respond to tonight?
Yeah. Should be good. It should be fun. We're going to find out what we're made of, what we're really made of. And we couldn't expect it to be smooth sailing this whole journey. No journey in life is, and we know that. And today is a bump in the road, unexpected. No one expects to lose, especially that way, but it's the game of life. So it's about how you respond to getting knocked down, and that's what we got to do next game.
That's actually not bad.
Yeah, for Shai or Jalen, either one of you guys, whoever feels the play where you got broke free for the dunk with 10 seconds left, go up 3. Mm-hmm. They're out of timeouts. Jokic is out of the game. Mark explained, you've been trained, you're fouling when you're up 3 and just automatic. But would have been a nice thing maybe to just play defense with Jokic on the bench. How tough is it to adjust course in the heat of the moment like that when what you maybe are supposed to do is not the best thing to do?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. So it's hard now because we lost, and it's going to seem like we should have did the other thing, obviously, because what we did led to a loss. But, like, we've been in that situation before. We fouled, and we've won the game, and tonight it didn't go in our favor. Now, it's not always going to go the way you want it, but there's analytics, and there's a way we want to end the game, and I think we did it as we planned. It just didn't go our way. But yeah, we like I said, it's nothing's ever gonna always go your way, and that's what happened tonight.
Jalen, as that shot at the buzzer's going up, what goes through your mind in that moment? Not only the shot, yeah, your shot.
That ain't making it to the rim. I'm actually impressed to hit the glass. It was kind of like you get like the shock of the 3 going in, and like obviously we're out of timeouts. It's just like, just try and get it close to the rim and see what happens from there. That's really it.
More broadly, you guys obviously a lot will be talked about the last seconds, but you're up 14 and then find yourself in a close game. Mm-hmm. What do you guys diagnose as the whys of, not being able to close out after building that kind of lead?
Rebounding.
Yeah, rebounding, execution late. We got some good looks. Probably could have got better looks, better offensive possessions. That's all I got for now. I'm sure there's other things
like a built up
when you go and watch a game.
Like you said, we're up 14, so like there's a lot of stuff in the game. So it's very easy to like look back at the last, 15 seconds or last minute of the game there's so many things that happen in a game that allow that to happen. So you look at rebounding, they got a couple runouts early, all that stuff adds up. Like, I missed 2 free throws to start the game. Like, you can just add a lot of things that go to it. But I think rebounding they got a lot of second chance, like opportunities and points and stuff like that.
Either one of you guys, what's your message to Chet? I know he's mad he missed the 2 free throws. What you guys tell him?
The 2 free throws don't, like, they would have been nice, but it's like also at the same time, like, that's not why we win or lose the game. Cause it's like, they don't make that 3, we win the game. It's like, like I said before, if I make 2 free throws early, what's the score of the game? Like, there's so many factors that factor into a game. That's not why we lost the game. And obviously it sucks, and it's good for character development. He'll be better for it later down the road.
And also the Minnesota game where you guys lost a 16-point lead. I mean, this is obviously bigger stakes, playoffs and everything else, but does this kind of feel a bit like that a little bit for you?
Nah, not really. Like, the average swing in an NBA game is 13 points.
More.
Right? Yeah. The average swing is 13 points. So you can go up 13, you go down 13. That's just on normal for the playoffs. It's still right around there. So that's just kind of how basketball is. We understand that. It just didn't happen to go our way tonight.
Shai, why do you think the offense dried up for you guys down the stretch?
I'm not too sure. Like, it's hard to reflect this fast after the game, but what it felt like, they were just doing a good job of, like, loading the elbows on drives. They were in the passing lanes. I feel like we got a couple shots that were makeable for sure, and were pretty good looks. But there's definitely things we could be better at tactically down the stretch for sure. And I know myself, I'll look at those things and see if we can be better for next game. I could be better for next game for them for sure.
And then, for either of you guys, obviously Joker's not your primary assignment, but he is a whole team.
It is a group effort, yeah.
Sure. 42 for him, obviously dominant on the glass as well. What can you guys do to try to, limit a guy who's obviously puts up huge numbers against everybody?
I don't want to, like, specifically say stuff, but, like, you just try and make good players like that work for, like catches and make shots hard. And I think if we can eliminate, like, second chance points, I think that really hurt us. You get them to miss one, and then you go foul them and give them an and one. Like, just like plays like that, like, add up over time. That's something that would be, like, on the top of my head, but we'll have X's and O's and all the other stuff to do it. But a lot of that just comes from, like, trying to make it tough. And, he's a good player. So it's like sometimes vice versa on this end, like, we're going to hit shots that are tough, and we kind of understand that, but you just try and make it as difficult as possible.
Guys, what would you say the overall mood of the team was after this one?
It sucked the first, like, couple minutes, but after that, back to ourselves. Like I said, we didn't expect our whole run to be sunshine and rainbows, and we know that. It's about how we respond, and there's nothing we can do about what just happened. So there's no point to have our head down or be sad about it or sulk about it. All we can do is be better for the next game, and that's what we're focused on.
Jalen, you mentioned free throws earlier. What do you think that you guys could do better to improve on the glass? I mean, rebounds.
Oh, you mean like us fouling them?
No, like you getting the rebounds.
Box out, go up with 2 hands and grab that. Don't stand and watch. Box out again, and when you go up and you jump, make sure you grab it.
Anybody else? Go Andrew with the last one.
Oh.
You guys didn't have a lot of clutch minutes during the regular season. Do you think that played to any of just like the lack of execution down the stretch, or is this just like one specific game?
Nah, it's easy to kind of like point the finger at that, and then it's like if we win, we don't even bring it up. Mm-hmm. So it's like kind of like one of those things where it's like, if we win, we can look at how we could have been better. If we lose, we do the same thing. It's just kind of like one of those things. So it's like, obviously, if we win this game, everybody's going to be like, oh, we followed up 3 and this was good and our offense was great. Like, it's kind of like one of those things, but we'll get back to the drawing board and figure out what we got to do to get better and improve and do that. Obviously the series is not first to one game. So just take it one step at a time. We know we weren't going to go on this like undefeated run, and this is just a bump in the road that we can recover from.
Thank you, guys.
I just barred up.
The Denver Nuggets up 1-0 against the team with the best record in the Western Conference in the regular season. We'll hear from the Nuggets later. You're watching Playoff Central Live, presented by AT&T. Aaron Gordon, a monster double-double, 22 points, 14 rebounds, but even more important, the game winner for the Denver Nuggets. This, the last of his 3 3-pointers. It's the second game winner he's made in this postseason run already for the Denver Nuggets. AG and Denver champions 2 years ago. Now 3 wins away from going to the Western Conference Finals. Here is Aaron Gordon with Stephanie Reddy.
We have to talk about that last possession. You only were down 1, but you decided to go for the 3. Help me out.
The open man is the right play. The right play is the open man. Russ makes the right play a lot of times. So I saw the paint was clogged, so I thought that was going to be the best look that we were going to get.
How are you all able to sustain the energy level, the perseverance that you needed? Because it was a tough battle. You had cut it to 1 3 times down the stretch until you finally won it.
Great poise with this team. Between Jamal Murray, Nikola Jokic, you got Hall of Famer Russell Westbrook, you got CB who's stepping into his own. A lot of guys stepped up, but I think our poise and our belief that we were going to win, no matter the circumstances.
How about the belief in yourself? This is your second game winner in the postseason.
Feels good. But I don't know. I'm just out here making the right play. I'm just out here hooping.
Congratulations. Thanks for stopping.
All right, thank you.
So road teams have won every playoff game here in the second round. You see Wednesday, 9:30 on TNT, game 2 between the Nuggets and the Thunder. Smitty, you said something earlier tonight. Playoffs don't start until you win on someone else's court. So it's been a great playoff so far here in the second round.
It is. It puts so much pressure on these higher seeds. I mean, usually you get the second one, still a lot of pressure. You split one, but when you get that first one, if it's another close game, and then you have a team like Denver who's been there and has the confidence, and has one of the best players in the world, it puts so much pressure on SGA and OKC. And then on the other side, like Boston, Cleveland, these are must-wins, basically, these games, too, for them, because you can't go down 0-2 and lose both home court games in the playoffs.
John, when I look at it, you go, okay, the teams with the best records, all the 60-win teams in the regular season have lost here to start the second round.
Yeah, like Smitty said, game 2 is a must-win. Even though they feel like they're still in control, you can't go down 0-2 going on the road. You got to get the second game, then try to steal back home court when you go on the road. So they know what they got to do. I think we've seen 2 great games today. They went down to the wire. Both teams had a 14 or 20-point lead, and they should have closed it out, but it didn't go in their favor.
Yeah, first game was a 3-point game. Second game, down to 2. For more interviews at the podium, go to NBA.com.
Look at that smile.
And so did the rich and creamy Denver Nuggets. That's Steve Smith. That's John Wall. I'm Chris Miles. Thank you for hanging out with us here on Playoff Central Live.
You can smile.
Appreciate it.